Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Shorts Guy from the highest point of the Garden State with the nice view of New Jersey. It's Beer Baron. Stream it live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Devils on an 8-game heater right now. Plenty of excitement. I felt the energy at Game Day Live and Devils After Dark today, guys, or throughout the last 3 home games. People are excited. People are optimistic. And Devils are playing some pretty good hockey right now.
Pretty
they
darn
are.
good hockey.
Yeah, Jack Hughes is killing it for me for my fantasy team, and I'm glad he's my permanent keeper. But I'm also really happy that the Devils are just killing it overall. It's been a lot of fun being there. I've been to 3 games so far, and it's been a ton of fun. Everyone's in a good mood, much the opposite of last year. And man, it's just good to see them winning, and to see them winning in fantastic ways. To not eke things out. To kind of dominate, not yet from start to finish, but we go down 1-0 and the first period down 1, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll just do it from the second period.
Yeah. It's not all good news though, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm eating gummy worms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Brett Pesce suffered an injury today. In the first period, there's last I checked, there's no official update, which is pretty normal because that's what the Devils do. But they have said that they're going to bring Seamus Casey up. So, and when it happened after the game, Sheldon Keefe was saying not good. So that's the status right now. Not good. So we'll see. We'll see how long he's going to be out. And it's really unfortunate because one of the strengths of the team right now in this 8-game heater is consistency of the defense, consistency of the team overall. But like we saw with Markstrom going down, which also nice to see that he was in. He was there today on the bench. But much like when he went down, Allen has stepped up, and boy, has he stepped up. Jake the Snake Allen has stepped up in probably one of the best ways that any of us could have imagined. Because if we would have thought he would have won, 4 of these games, I don't know. Especially look at the teams that they had to play. Now, there's some stats that went into this that people were saying, well, the teams that the Devils have been beating are under 500. Mm-hmm. And to that, I will say a win's a win, baby. And they're all different teams. Go ahead, Sam.
I was about to say, if the Devils are beating them, they're keeping them under 500 too. You can also look at that standpoint. That's all.
Yeah, that was also posted by an Avalanche account that said they were going to beat us today because we've been, beating soft teams. I'm like, soft because
teams.
It's the beginning of soft because this is the beginning of the season and they're not 500. But I disagree with what that person said. Obviously.
Now, granted, they're not doing so hot and they're missing players, but the Panthers are not a pushover. They just, I forget who they just beat. Toronto's not a pushover. Minnesota's not a pushover. Tampa's not doing so well, but they still have Vasilevsky who can play very well. Okay, so the Sharks are worst in the league. Okay, that's fine. Columbus is not an easy team either. So, and the Avalanche, they're. I was saying this on Game Day Live. They are a perennial Cup favorite, and we just beat them today.
And to be honest with you, this is one of those things. That kind of statement is such a dumb statement, anyways, because it's the beginning of the year, and teams are still trying to figure themselves out. They're still licking their wounds from last year. Some are, having turnover, new coaches, new players, blah blah blah. Taking advantage of that and saying like, oh, it's softer. They're winning games that they're, who cares, dude? A win's a win. Like, I don't care how you're doing it, because there's a couple of those games, like that Sharks game last year. That's a game that the Devils lose. 2 years ago, you know what I mean? Like,
Blackwood.
exactly. So they're winning games that they should be winning. They're doing what they have to do. And I don't care how they're doing it. I don't care if they're, first of all, they're doing it convincingly. They're not just squeaking by. Like, the Sharks game was an example of, like, luck was on our side that night. They shouldn't have won that game. We looked like, we didn't look our best. And we still found a way to win. These other games, they're winning pretty damn convincingly. So,
See,
I think they look good.
I would disagree with you on the Sharks game. One, great teams find ways to win, even when they shouldn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And two, we went down 1-0 after the first period, but then we kept the Sharks shotless for the whole second period.
Well, we went down 2-1 at one point, but the goal got waived.
A goal got waived. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And but we kept the Sharks shotless during that second period. So that's coming out of the locker room after the first period and really kind of taking it to an opponent. And the only reason that game wasn't worse is because of Askarov. Askarov was standing on his head for the Sharks. And if it wasn't for him, it would have been a much different game in our favor. We would have won much more convincingly. But it's we did what we had to do, and then when it mattered in the last 2 minutes, when Jake Allen was getting bombarded, when they pulled Askarov and it was an empty net, the Devils' defense, unlike in years past, and the goaltending kept that victory going for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? That's a big change. That's why I disagree with. Maybe we shouldn't have won that game. Like, we did all that we needed to do to win that game. Was it an ugly win? Yeah, that's fine. I'll take an ugly win. But at the same time, like, we did what we had to do to get that win. And it was not a 5-1, 6-1 drubbing, but not every game's going to be like that. So I think the Devils are doing exactly what they need to do to win.
And they're getting contributions from everywhere, literally from everywhere.
Yes, all over.
I mean, you're getting production from your stars. You're getting production from Jack, which you want to happen. Gritsuk is that goal today.
Oh yeah,
that goal today.
Yeah,
I feel like
nice.
he's this confidence in the way this kid is playing. I mean, he generated the chance to get himself the opportunity to get that goal by keeping the puck in. He's starting to really come around, and he's going to get opportunity to play with Jack and Nico and those guys and stuff like that more often. The team is just they're rolling, man. It's like everything is clicking. Everything feels good.
Yeah.
Look at Nemec, even though against what Sam says, Nemec had 3 points tonight. Looks good, feels good. Can dance all night long. I mean,
I knew that was going there. It's all looking good, and yeah, it's early in the season. You don't want to get too super excited, and you're not going to make the playoffs in October. But you drop a couple games in October, and you don't have those points in April. That really sucks. But getting points against teams like the Sharks now in October, it helps in April. So it's what we need to do, and we're doing it. And you're right. We're getting stuff from all over the place, and this is second game, at least second game that I've noticed. It could have been longer. That Grits is playing with Timo and Nico. I mean, talk about a line to be on as a rookie. Even though he's an older rookie, but man, talk about two great players to be playing with there.
Yeah. And I mean, but the kid is showing that he has the ability to play with them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's showing
absolutely.
And he's showing that confidence that he can. His game, to me, it's interesting because there's guys that come over from the KHL, and sometimes it doesn't translate. You see they're successful over there. They come over here, and just they don't have the same finish that they had over there. It's like guys that are
Mhm.
killing it in the AHL, and they come up, and you're like, man, this guy's going to be great because he's been putting up monster numbers, and they don't amount to anything. It's
Yeah.
just it's the best on the best on the best, and I mean sometimes that brings the best out of people, and sometimes it doesn't. But with him, it seems like it's I mean just clicking right now. Like I said, everything on his team is clicking, and it's so fresh. And the Rock, oh my god, home games
Mhm.
are fun. You walk in, and yes, it helps they're on an 8-game winning streak, but at the same time, like the team is fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's not boring brand of hockey. It's exciting. It's fun. It's the whole building is energized, and it's becoming a hard place to play against too. Like, you know, the fans are getting jacked up when the refs make a mistake, which they make a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we give them, we let them have it, and yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. I mean, winning helps. Winning helps have fun, but it's also a fun brand of hockey to watch. At least all of us would agree. Not everyone, and I'm not going to name names. Don't think that it's fun hockey to watch, but for us, it's so much fun to watch. It's been a lot of fun. Just the atmosphere, everything's been great, and I hope that this continues all throughout the season because last year we had a really good start until the game after Christmas against Carolina, and then it all went downhill. But I feel like that experience will potentially be really good for this team going forward because they'll know what it's like to go, for a good season to go bad. And you've got the coaching staff that I'm sure won't let them forget about it. It's not they're not going to harp on it, but they'll remind them like, hey, remember we were doing really good to start last year, and well, it all went to hell. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that they're going to have to keep in the back of their mind to prevent. And I do like the fact that Jake Allen stepped in. He won all these games, and now we have Markstrom coming back, and we have a really good problem right now. We have 3 good goalies now.
Yeah.
So, now we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do with Nico Dawes. We got to figure out how you're going to work Markstrom in. And that's the best part is you don't have to rush Markstrom back right now. He's going to want to get in, but you don't have to. You're not in a desperate need to get him back.
Yeah. Dude, by the way, yeah, the gummy worms. These are the trolleys, man. These are the best. Where the heck is my camera? Boom.
Boom.
And product placement. Speaking of good goalies, yo, huge shout out to our good friends of the podcast, JCB Architectural. Our friend John, his son Sammy was the captain for today,
Oh, cool.
and went out on the ice. Got to does the lap on the ice, holding the flag, and then the whole team daps him up as they come out, wearing his full goalie gear with the custom helmet and everything, dude. It was sick. And the best part, John sent me the video before. The best part is as Markstrom comes out as the last one out, he daps him up, and then he gives him a little pat on the head. I was like, yeah, man, that's so. I'm like, that is
That's
so
cool.
freaking wild. Yeah, he got a good picture with Nico. I love that they do that stuff. Like that's really cool that the team does that. So it was a huge shout out to him because that's a really cool thing. It's a really big honor, and it's a bummer I couldn't be there today to check it out. But that was a lot of fun.
I would have loved to have seen it. That was really cool. I'm seeing in the chat that Dawes is already sent back.
He's
down
already
to,
sent back. Yep. Yeah.
yeah, Utica, and oh man, that kind of sucks for him because boy is Utica not doing very well at all. He's got to go to that, and I don't want to talk disparagingly about Utica, but they are not playing well. They are winless.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Did they start the year winless last year too? If I'm not mistaken,
they may have. Did I? There, I'm getting some comments here in the chat. Did I call them the Utica Devils again? Because I feel like I always do that. But we do have to go up to a Comets game at some point.
Yeah, I would love that.
We should go up to a Utica game at some point. But yeah, it's man, Markstrom back. I think that's great. But I also know that it's Jake Allen backed his words up by saying he was going to do what he could because he felt responsible, and now Markstrom is back, and I think that just shows the relationship those two have, and I think that's phenomenal.
Now, do you let Markstrom have the start in Colorado, or do you stick with Jake?
Well, I'm seeing some chatter in the chat. Which, by the way, hello to everybody in the chat. I see a lot of our regulars. Brooke Amanda's here. Stephen Engel's here. It looks like Tom's here. Jay Snow. Oh my goodness, Ted's there. That's a really good question. You give Markstrom. I guess you make that determination based on how he looks in the morning skate and how he feels too.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Looks like we got Colleen from Portland, Oregon. What's going on? Hello, welcome for listening.
Nice.
Brooke Amanda says ride Jake the Snake until further notice. It's possible. You know, you're going to make that determination on what you see on the ice too. But you also know that, let's say you put Markstrom in and it's not going so strong. You have Jake the Snake that's right there to put in. But you also want to let a goalie like Markstrom, if he's just coming back from this injury, you want him to also work through issues. If he goes down early, you want him to settle in. You want him to get into that game. So, you know, it's not always just a quick yank if 2 quick goals go in. That's not always the case. So, you know, we'll see what the coaching staff does. It wouldn't shock me to see Markstrom in. It also wouldn't shock me to see Jake Allen in. Just like I'm assuming we're going to see Scott Wedgwood on was that Tuesday night? I think it's no, Tuesday or tomorrow night. I don't even know. I haven't looked ahead beyond today yet.
I think it's Tuesday night.
Tuesday, okay.
I'm gonna look right now.
Yeah, it really wouldn't shock me either way to have either of the goalies. Brooke Amanda says, "Do we work through issues at the expense of a win?" Well, that's why you got to give an opportunity to work through issues and then potentially get that win, but know when to pull the trigger.
So my kind of thing about this is I just look at the schedule now. I'm pulling it up now. So it is Tuesday. So they, depending on how things go, get into Colorado tomorrow, I would assume. Probably get a skate in or not. And then they play Colorado Tuesday, and then they go from Colorado to San Jose on Thursday. So do you hold them off until San Jose on Thursday? Do you say, all right, let's let Allen just played them. He kind of knows what they're about. Also, they know Allen. So, you know, like they were, you know, that's the other thing too. So do you let Allen take that game on Tuesday and then you give Markstrom the game on Thursday, which would make a little bit more sense? Not to disparage the Sharks, who have been playing better of late, but it is a softer landing than going, all right, Marky, jump into net when and go against the Colorado Avalanche, who might not be too happy that they lost the game previously. And then we have Saturday. They have a back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. So,
all right. So you're seeing him one day next weekend, and whether or not you see him. So I want to say if you see Markstrom Tuesday, you'll see Jake Allen on Thursday, and potentially Markstrom again on Saturday. But I'm not making these decisions, and I could be way wrong, just like all my, predictions to begin the game. But I know. Oh my goodness! And my goodness! In the chat, just said that Keith spoke about making sure Allen's workload doesn't get crazy. So it's possibly to see Markstrom the next game. Oh my goodness! Also believes you should put Allen in Tuesday against Colorado. We have Mark is saying that it was a good thing that Wedgwood was not net because we have a curse with former Devils goalies, which yes we do. And my guess is we're going to see Wedgwood on Tuesday. So it was either today or Tuesday that we were going to see him. So we got to make sure we're ready to go on Tuesday and make sure we're acclimated to that altitude for being up there. And Tom's telling us the Sharks won again tonight with Celebrini winning in overtime. So the Sharks are not a super strong team, but they've got firepower. They put 6 past to start.
They have a ton of young talent. That is one thing too. They have 6 past. They have. That's one of my favorite goal chants or like you know, hey Shesterkin, what time is it? 6 past. But anyways, yeah. So the Sharks, I think honestly, like if I were the Devils, I would play Allen on Tuesday. Let him play the Colorado. Let him play in Colorado, and then let Markstrom play against the Sharks. The Sharks are playing well, so it's not going to be a pushover game. It's going to be, it's just going to be a game. It's just going to be a game, and I like their approach this year. The thing that really impresses me about the Devils this year is that the maturity is finally hit. Jack is definitely matured. Nico is definitely. I mean, my God, there's a stat today. I think I might have sent it to you guys in the group chat there. Oh, now I got to go look for it. Where the heck is it? Nico Hischier leads the NHL in high danger chances, all while being hard matched against Connor McDavid, basically all the top lines. So
yeah,
he leads the NHL in high danger chances while also having to check the best in the NHL has to offer on each team each night. So once again, man, just that Selke should be all but his.
Well, it would be nice. It is, again, still October, but it's almost November. Actually, it's November next weekend. It's getting to the point where he keeps this up. He will be a shoe-in for. He should be a shoe-in for the Selke. However, there is a pretty obvious anti-Devil bias out there, which doesn't want to see anyone on this team be celebrated in any way, shape, or form. So it really wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. I am going to point this out, and I hope I'm not going to be speaking too soon about this. But the Calgary Flames are halfway there tonight to their second win of the season. Let's take a moment.
They got a goal. Thank you, Tom, because they got a goal from Sharon Govich and Ball.
Love it. Man, it's we'll wait and see if that happens at the end of the night. Yeah. So hopefully that's what happens. But there's a lot going on with this road trip, and I spoke about this in Game Day Live. The Devils have done well to this point, and now they're going to go on the road. They're going to be able to, kind of get some time with just the team and do some team stuff, and usually that's really good. And I know we started the season with 3 games in the road, but you got 3 games in the road. You have a really good homestand, and then you're going on the road again. You're getting your one of the 2 or 3 Western swings out of the way early, which I like. You're not traveling all the way to the West Coast in March when you really need to, save on those miles. But it's it'll probably be a good trip for them. If I just got this weird flashback. Like I feel like it was a couple of years ago when we were the Devils went they beat all the Canadian teams. Well, when they beat all the Canadian games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it was like right around that time when they were going on the trip. We were like, we come out of this ahead by 1 game or whatever. It's awesome. And I was just about to say something similar, but this is something that I love seeing, and this is the Devils hockey beer baron that you and I grew up with that a lot of the current generation has never seen. Just good, strong Devils hockey.
Yeah, and Mark Schwab, yes, that was the stat that I found online today that I found interesting too. He's actually leads the NHL, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, dude, this is. I know it sounds kind of stupid, and maybe because of sports fandom in this area. Like, listen, I'm a Giants fan, and what happened to Cam Scadaboo? Well, my thoughts are with that dude. I hope he has a fast and speedy recovery. That was absolutely gruesome. That poor dude's foot was pointing, and
I missed it.
Don't look it up. It's one of those where it's like, just trust me that it looked horrible when it was pointing the opposite direction and just waving in the wind. And that sucks, man. He was so awesome. He was
going to get hurt. He was bound, and I hate to say that, but he he was just bound to get hurt. But speed is the name of the game in an injury like that happened to a Liverpool player a couple years ago. Very similar thing where his ankle was pointing in all the wrong direction. And basically the physio that was right there, like reset it immediately right there on the field. And that was the reason why he came back as quickly as he did that season. So I hope they did that. And I hope Scottaboo does, come back good and strong, because if he's unable to pivot on that foot, he's going to have a totally different game.
Yeah, dude, it's just sucked. Anyways, the reason I bring that up is just not to get onto a football tangent, but it's just, the last couple of years, it's like when the Devils were playing really well and then Jack gets hurt and then something happens and it just sucks and you're just watching it. So like, I feel like gun shy when I watch this team where I'm like getting excited and I'm like, yeah, we're rolling. And then you want to like just kind of celebrate the moment. And then you're like you're cringing, like, okay, but what's going to happen? So like maybe the Pesci thing happening today, like maybe that's the cringe that I've been waiting for, and hopefully it's not long term. Hopefully it's just like he blocked a shot, he took a high stick like right in it looked like in the throat. So when I don't know what happened, but it's probably from that block shot that he had. But whatever the case may be, I hope he's not out too long, and I hope Seamus Casey takes this opportunity and runs the hell away with it. Kind of pulls Jake Allen. It's like, all right, this is my time to step it up, because you don't want to come into a lineup where they're absolutely rolling right now and be the reason why they're not. So I can imagine like the kid's got a little bit of pressure on him to be like, all right, well, I'm going from 0 wins to being 8-1 right now. I gotta contribute right away.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit on Game Day Live, and the question was basically like, who sits over Seamus Casey, or what do you do in that situation? And Seamus Casey, or it was something like either that or like, how does he crack this lineup? And it's like he's got to play to the point where they have to keep him, and that someone else has to sit because he's playing better than them. So this is his opportunity. It's been a next man up mentality so far, and I like that. And I get what you're saying about like, okay, like we're kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's kind of like what we dealt with the Giants, like during the fourth quarter of the Broncos game. It's like, what's going to happen? And then like the fourth quarter came around. Like,
Tom, don't even talk about it. Oh, jeez.
Yes.
The Giants are going to Giants.
Team.
The Giants are going to Giants. I'm so pissed. Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, it's we want to see this keep going, obviously.
Yeah, and I think Casey, having experience last year, I think he'll be fine. It's Brent Pesci was playing some big minutes. He was playing some big moments. He was doing good things. Good things. And it's like, I hate when it happens on defense. It's odd because we talked about this last week, where it's like, if this happens to a forward, it's easier to move forwards in different places or to kind of shift the lines around. Whereas defense, it's like, well, it's a little bit harder. So I'm curious to see like what the combinations are going to be like. I saw somebody online was saying like, they're probably going to put Hughes and Nemec together. And I'm like, do you really want to put those two guys together? I'm kind of, I don't know. Do you have any ideas of how you would kind of balance the lines there? Dylan and Casey.
We've seen Hughes and Nemec before, but I feel like this is two different versions of them now. And I would rather Casey be with more of a established player like Dylan. So yeah, it's probably got to be that, and they've got this weird confidence in Nemec that no matter what last season, it felt like he could make the most blatant mistake on a shift, and he was back out there the next shift. Mm-hmm. So they've got this confidence in this kid. So I've got to assume it's probably going to be him and Hughes together, but Casey I think would rather be with someone a little bit more established, but then again, you could put Hughes and Casey together. That could work as well. Maybe they see Hughes as the more established guy too. I'm really not
Kowalski or Chowalski. They also have him as an option. I see a lot of people saying that. that he would probably be the one that gets a nod. He's more of a stay-at-home defenseman. Yeah, possibly because maybe they don't want to like just jump and put Casey into this lineup, especially going against Colorado. Like Colorado's a team that you make one little mistake and they'll make you pay for it, and they quickly too. Like Colorado, we saw tonight, or today. You build a lead against Colorado. There's no such thing as a comfortable lead against them.
No,
they have
never.
Tons of firepower. They have guys that are just absolute dogs on that team. McKinnon is one of those dudes that, man, I would give anything in the world. Obviously anybody would. I hate when people are, "Oh, that's a stupid statement. Anybody would want him on their team." And I'm like, yeah, no crap.
Obviously.
But I mean, he's just, dude, he's such a just hockey standpoint, one of my favorite players to watch. Like one of those dudes, I don't care what team, unless he was a Ranger, and then I would probably not watch him. But one of those dudes like him, McCarr, there's so many guys on that team that I'm like, I enjoy watching. I also still kind of hate Colorado for Ray Bork beating us in the Stanley Cup Finals, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I still have a sour taste in my mouth about
that. I would love to celebrate Ray Bork winning Stanley Cup, but because it's against my team, I can't. I just cannot.
Yeah, same. If he would have beat anybody, it would have been like, yeah, way to go, Ray Bork. But no,
any other team, fine, but not our team. And I know Sam Wu has a conspiracy theory of that too, which I'm sure he'll jump in now if he's not raiding the pantry for snacks to tell us all about. But yeah.
Oh, there he is. Good. Yes. Yes. All right.
Why do you have to put a fat joke in there?
It's not fact. It's not fat. It's fact. But go on.
Oh, wait, Sam. Mrs. Wu is in my ear again. She's saying, "Oh, all the snacks have been locked up for the evening, and all that's left are salads or kale." Sorry, Sam.
What was living through that 2001 season.
Wait, time out 1 second. I am so sorry to interrupt you. But this adds more layers to this. And thank you, Dubs and OMI, for pointing this out. Casey has only played one game since coming back from the IR in Utica. So we will probably more than likely see Chwalski, or however you say his name.
Okay. Sam?
Go on with your conspiracy theory. Go on. On.
Do you remember 2001?
Like yesterday.
Yeah. ESPN was just like, it was all Ray Bork. Mission 16W. 16W was ours. It was the exit.
95. Yeah.
Yeah, 16W.
Cup gets off at 16W.
Yeah, and and then they made it 16W a mission for Ray Bork. And then you can even tell, like when ESPN and ABC, when they did the pregame and all that, it's like they start with Colorado, and it's like this beautiful like mountains, and there's like a cow in the pasture and all that. And then they show New Jersey, and it's like garbage all over the place, the turnpike. And it's like, oh, isn't there a bias there? I was just saying. And it was all Ray Bork. And then go back to that Game 7. If you can stomach it. I think the referees missed like maybe about 15 icings in that game that favored Colorado. It was unbelievable.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. But the Devils should have never been in that situation anyways, because they were up 3-2 in the series.
Scott Gomez goal call back.
Yeah, they should have closed that series out.
Yep.
That series pisses me off to this day.
Because it was rigged.
Yeah.
We all know it is.
Sam loves a good conspiracy. If you ever meet Sam in real life and you have a good conspiracy theory, just let him know. Put your tinfoil hat on too, and just have a nice long conversation, because he loves hearing other people's weird conspiracy theories.
Hey, when it comes out 10 years from now, you see the NBA that's getting a little knocked around a little bit. You'll find out. 2001, it was rigged.
Yeah. By the way, I'm trying to think about what the hell was I I am so bad because I've like been busy and I don't really follow the news. I saw it come across my feed, like Chauncey Billups, and not to get off. We talked a little football. I'm going to talk a tiny bit of basketball just for a second. Can you clarify exactly what they got arrested for? They got arrested for gambling, and I heard Chauncey Billups was like playing cards and like saying like, "All right, I'll give you $10,000 in chips, and I'll tell you who's going to be out tomorrow," or something like that. Like inside information. Is that what was going on?
I think it's a whole host of things that and remember, innocent till proven guilty. These are all allegations, but I think there's like
For
multiple allegations. I think it's one, he was using his name at poker games, but these poker games were rigged with machines. How they were dealing the cards, and then
and tables that could read the cards from underneath and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the other thing I think is there were a couple other players. I don't know if it was Billups, but giving inside information. Like this one coach.
Point shaving,
yeah,
point shaving, and giving injuries. Wow, it's like the movie Blue Chips. Yeah, what a great movie that is, huh? Love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. I mean, the NBA, about 15 years ago, Tim Donaghy,
I remember
referee,
yeah.
Again, in the sports betting world, it sucks because you have to wonder, especially with some of these terrible NHL refs. You just wonder. I'm not saying that they're doing this, but it's just you just never know.
Yeah, and I feel like there was also a player wrapped up into it that would leave the game injured or something and immediately text someone that, I'm out, so I'm going to underperform today, and like bets were placed on. So I don't know. I only saw part of it. I really do not care much for the NBA, so I really have not paid much attention, which I kind of find it funny because NBC has just started showing NBA games again, and like immediately there's all this scandal with the NBA. It's like it's so funny to watch them cover and just show like all kinds of positive things about the NBA when there's this whole big scandal going through right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, every sport has its moment where they just have like egg on their face, and the NHL is not free from that either, unfortunately, with a bunch of the dumb things that have happened in the league in the last couple of years that we were not going to talk about. We're not going to get into because we all know it. We all saw it. We all know it. But anyways, the reason I was asking about it is just because, like, I don't know, like, it's one of those things where, like Sam said, there's things that happen in sports, and I was trying to have a conversation with somebody about this last night where I was like, the NBA is supposedly one of the easy, or not the NBA, but basketball is one of the easier games to fix compared to like fixing a game in hockey or football, unless you're watching the Eagles-Giants game today, and clearly those referees were paid off because those are some of the worst damn calls I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen a dude grab another dude's jersey, a cornerback grab a receiver's jersey, and then the receiver get called for offensive pass interference. But that game, dude, I could dissect that game for like 3 hours. That game, the last week sucked. This week was brutal, losing Scatterboo and then just watching the Eagles. All right. Anyways, before I vomit,
I'll tell you where it's really rigged: college football, college basketball, because it's hard to stop it because there's so many teams. It's hard to figure out, what's what. But that's just my opinion.
Much.
I mean, Penn State has gotten hosed so many times that I wonder.
I just think they hose themselves.
Well, that too.
But
maybe they're making money on themselves. Wouldn't surprise me.
They could be.
Yeah.
It's just and I don't understand, and I guess this is something I never will understand, and this goes for any athlete that is making $8 million a year, or some of these NBA players that are making like $50 million plus a year or whatever, like insane salaries. Why would you want to jeopardize your career by doing something so so dumb. Sometimes it's an
You think
addiction, and I understand that. You think you're
But
above it?
other-
Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say other times you believe you're untouchable,
Yeah.
and it's you could be getting bad advice from a shady person saying, "Listen, man, I promise you're not going to get caught, but you're going to get even more money if you do this." And it's sometimes too. Like I really truly also believe sometimes it's just that you've got people that are not looking out for your best interest and not keeping you in the loop, but using your name. And next thing you know, well, guess what? You're screwed because they got caught.
You want to hear a conspiracy theory?
I love them. Go on.
All right. Michael Jordan has, probably had a big gambling problem in the early 90s. And his dad was murdered. Suddenly he's doing 2 years of baseball, and and then suddenly he comes back to the NBA. There's a lot of bad people, especially when sports betting was illegal. There's a lot of bad people around it, and
sketchy people.
I think for athletes, why they get themselves into debt and get themselves into trouble with this gambling is, when you're a great athlete and you get the game-winning bucket or the game-winning goal and you're on this like high, sometimes I wonder if that competitive high gets into their finances, and then their finances, they start gambling, something like that. You ask that question, Beer Baron. Sometimes I think it's like they're trying to get that high, and then it's out of control, and and
could be.
I mean, it's a lot of money. I mean, Antoine Jameson made over $100-something million, and he was broke by like age 31 or something like that.
Yeah. MC Hammer.
Oh yeah,
broke. MC Hammer,
like that man that he had in Compton.
It happens, and it's just one of those crazy things because like gambling is an addiction, and there's many people that have like destroyed their lives, like you said, trying to chase that high or trying to chase that dream, and not to get out. And this is what happens on this podcast for those of you that are just tuning in or figuring us out for the first time. Is we're just a bunch of dudes. Like we're not like professional analysts. We sit around, we talk about things, we have conversations like you would at a bar, and it's just one of those stories that came across that I was like, I wanted to kind of see what was really going on with this, because it's just wild. It's just freaking wild, and it's unfortunate because like you're taking a pretty decent like life, and you're just like, I'm just gonna flush this down the toilet because I want to see if I can, like Shorts Guy said, maybe I think I'm untouchable or whatever it is, but just crazy stuff going on in the world of sports.
Yeah. And it's with the legalizing of sports gambling, it's just getting crazier, and I always thought it was weird to have sports gambling sites sponsoring so much of English Premier League before it was legal here, like shirt sponsorships and sideline sponsorships. Just seems like it's too much in bed with the teams, and I mean, look, Shane Pinto, he was suspended how many games last year because he let somebody let somebody use his account.
Shea Otani, look at what happened to Otani too.
Oh, Otani. Yeah. Here's another conspiracy. Do you really?
Here we go.
You really believe?
I love it.
Like, think about it. Otani, the FBI are like, no, he didn't do anything wrong, and then there's like this whole real estate scandal. Oh, he didn't do anything wrong, the FBI. LeBron James is indirectly in this gambling scandal. Oh, he had nothing to do with it. It seems like all the big superstars get a cover from the FBI.
Yeah, because they're like, man, we don't want baseball to suck without this guy, so let him in. By the way, I have to say this. I am a Yankees fan. All right, I was born and raised, didn't have a choice. When the Yankees lost, I was like, whatever, because baseball was like number 3 on my list now as I've gotten older. But I will say this. I am rooting for the Blue Jays to win because I want to see Don Mattingly win a ring. And if you like to listen, if you are a Yankees fan and you're like, no, I want the first of all, I don't know why you'd root for the Dodgers, but like I want to see Mattingly get a ring. And that's like the equivalent of just watching a dude plays. He's been in the game for 40 years. He's my favorite baseball player as a kid. The reason I wore 23 when I was playing baseball, like one of my favorite athletes growing up. And the dude's been in the game for 40 freaking years without winning a ring. He's come close many times. You know, it would be bitter. It would be awesome because also he used to manage the Dodgers as well. So that'd be a nice little stick it to them kind of moment too. But
I'm completely opposite. I understand. I just don't like any Canadian teams, so I'll default to an American team. That's just me. Has nothing to do with
you are wow.
Yeah, like so. Say if Jack Hughes,
Sam's hatred for the Great White North has expanded into baseball.
It was probably always there.
Oh, remember when the Raptors? Remember when the Raptors went into the NBA Finals, and they had this like hashtag "We the North." Like, what the hell does that mean? We the North. Like they were holding up.
We
signs.
the North. We know speak English. We the North. We good.
No. You know what? I respected Don Mattingly. You know, growing up. You know, even though I was a Mets fan, like he did nothing wrong. He worked his ass off. Like he was like Mr. Donnie Baseball. Like he was like
the hit.
He was like It was just it was. I guess the injuries caught up. You know.
Yeah.
And is he in the Hall of Fame? He's probably not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
He should be.
He's one of those guys. That's like the Patrick Elias conversation. Like he's one of those guys that should be nominated into the Hall of Fame and has the stats. Like has the stats to back it up. And played on some god awful Yankee teams. Like people are always like the Yankees. I'm like, dude, there's some time in the '80s, man.
Steve
sucked.
Balboni.
Oh man, I love being nostalgic about old Yankees baseball, where I could like sit there and talk. We're talking
Andy
about
Hawkins,
Steve Sachs, Alvaro Espinosa, Steve Balboni, like, dude, Matt Noakes, who I used to think looked like Michael Keaton. Yeah, dude, I'm very nostalgic on the old Yankees teams, but like it's one of those like seeing Alexander McGillney finally getting into the Hall of Fame. Hopefully Patrick Elias gets his opportunity this year when they go through the voting class. But yeah, Donnie Baseball, he deserves a ring and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Eric Plunk.
Is he allowed to be in the Hall if he's still managing?
Mikey Pags.
Because he's retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can go in. You go in. Steve Sachs. By the way, one of the greatest episodes of The Simpsons had both Don Mattingly and Steve Sachs on it.
The softball episode.
We're talking
Mattingly, I told you to cut those sideburns.
Mr. Burns, I don't know what he thinks sideburns are.
Do you remember Andy Hawkins?
Mattingly and yes.
He threw a no-hitter and lost.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Kevin Nomas. Oh, my God. There's some great memories there. But anyways, all right, back to the Devils. Back to the 8-game winning streak and back to the Devils and how they're playing right now. One of the things that I'm excited to see, and I mentioned it earlier, one of the things I'm loving about this team right now is the wins that they're getting. A lot of these games, they are controlling the pace of the game. They're not getting pinned in their own zone, in their own ends. They're not losing puck battles in the corner. They're playing with speed. They're playing with tempo. They're getting teams on their heels. And I think they're surprising a lot of teams because Sheldon Keefe's system last year, you saw flashes of it. You know, you knew it was going to take a little while to like fully get ingratiated with the team. Whatever he's doing, he's got these boys buzzing because their forecheck is just relentless. The team is just Connor Brown. Can we talk about Connor Brown? Connor Brown. God dang, it's good to have him on this team. He is a bottom six dude that is just contributing 2 breakaways in 2 separate games where he just buries the puck.
You haven't
Head up,
lived until you
Barry
hear
Fuck.
you haven't lived until you hear Sam Wu start shouting downtown Connor Brown as you're walking out of the Rock after a Devils victory.
That's right. That's me.
Downtown.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I'll start making more AI music. I already have a couple. With Nico and Connor Brown.
Yeah. Mark Schwab. No, we were talking about don't look at Joe Theismann. That's the one you should not look at.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Devils are winning. That's all that matters, and they need to keep this up this
They
week.
have, yeah.
But
even
it's strange that this is what we're like. I feel like the last bunch of seasons, have not been great. Save a season or two here or there, but like it just feels so much better to talk about a winning Devils hockey team.
Yeah, this is Sheldon Keefe's first time ever having an 8-game win streak. I think going from doing the home and home with Colorado, it's going to be interesting because, you get the day off in between the two games. But having to go and play Colorado again, that's a tall task. I mean, this is not a team that's going to look at that game and be like, okay with losing to you guys. And listen, they made it interesting. It took us overtime to win. It took Jack overtime to win that game. And they didn't score with the goalie pulled with like a minute to go. They scored with like six and change to go, I believe, to tie it 3-3. Allen had some unbelievable saves in that game. And I really feel like he's
had unbelievable saves over this whole run.
I think he's like third in goals against. I think he's fourth in save percentage. In the NHL, I think he's tied for second or third or somewhere around that area for most wins.
Fifth in goals against.
He's been absolutely unreal.
Oh, he's not up
and
there.
Just solid. And that's the thing too, is like he's just been solid. Has he been flashy? Doesn't need to be. Even the game when Nico Dawes played, like Dawes was just solid. Like the goaltending has just been calm. And I think that's a good word to put on it. Just calm, controlled.
Steady.
You know what I mean? Steady.
Controlled. Yep.
And Markstrom, the one game that he was in where he like came all the way the heck out of the net and like had to scramble back, vintage Markstrom, just kind of like scrambling around, rolling around on his back. It'll be good to see him doing that again, as long as he's making big saves and stuff like that. But the one thing that I feel like Allen brought was just like a calm demeanor to the team, and it just you could see he made the big saves when he needed to make the big saves. He had a great outlet pass today. It didn't amount to a goal, but it was like the Avalanche caught the Devils in a moment, and they dumped it in. He jumped out, grabbed it, threw it right back down, like bing bang boom, like as quick as it came down. But like came out, got it, threw it, came back into the net, calm as just calm as a cucumber.
And I love to see that, like calm, consistent goaltending is so good for a defensive core, and a defensive core being there for your goalie is also helping to create a calm and consistent goaltending. So it all works together. The Devils have things working together, which is good, and then they've got the offense there, so that means that the goalies don't. Jake Allen for most of these last couple games hasn't had to worry about I have to make this save, otherwise it's going to hell. Obviously you wanted to make that save and he wants to make that save, but the offense is there and the defense is there to help the goaltenders, and it's all working together.
Yeah. Yeah. And having Cody Glass out right now, having Pesci out for a little while, the guys are stepping up. Dawson Mercer, I know we're getting ready to wrap here soon, but Dawson Mercer is having a very solid start to his season. Even if it's not always showing up on the score sheet, he seems to be maturing as well. Just feels like the team understands what they need to do. You know, they don't need to have swag. They have the swag, but they don't need to have it. They just need to have the maturity. And that's the difference between teams that win and teams that lose. If you let in a goal, you don't get wound up. You don't grip the stick too tight. You don't try to go backwards to go forwards. You just move on. And I feel like that's where they're at right now. And that's winning hockey.
Definitely.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Final thoughts?
Whew. Final thoughts. Go to Colorado. Stick it to them. Put 9 in a row. Go to San Jose. Put 10 in a row. See how far you can push this. And it's not one of those. When they were on that 14-game heater, it was like, oh, man. Oh, there was a couple games that they were like, oh, man, that Blues game, I'll never forget. They barely escaped with the win there. But it's like this confidence. Let it grow. Keep pushing. And if you lose, who cares? Next game. And that's it. Just keep it rolling, baby. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, I totally agree. My closing thought is, with Markstrom back in the mix, work him in. You don't have to panic to get him in right away. You don't have to rush him back in. Let him work his way into the games and back to full fitness. Knowing that you got Jake Allen there, who's kept this team. He hasn't even kept this team afloat. He's powered this team through the majority of this win streak. Because if you think about it, it was the Columbus game that Markstrom went down, and it's what we beat. That was the third game of the season. So Markstrom had the win against Tampa. Gets the win against Columbus. Is hurt, and Jake Allen has, with the exception of the game that Nico Dawes played, has powered this winning streak. And let's not jump on Jacob Markstrom if he goes in and the Devils lose.
Which will happen if that happens. You know the overreaction.
It's going to be why isn't Allen? Yes, do not do that, because I can tell you from experience. Not that I'm a professional, although I'd like to consider myself one day.
It's hard. You're professional.
Hey, man, 15 years between professional inline hockey association wins. I don't know if that stat exists anywhere but with this guy right here. Let's not jump to conclusions if Markstrom gets the game Tuesday or Thursday and the Devils lose. And I think the Devils are playing well enough to where really it shouldn't matter who's in net. That calm, consistent goaltending is just going to be there. And you know what? Just keep rolling with it.
Yeah. By the way, Max has put that Limp Bizkit song is now playing in my head.
Which song is that?
Keep rolling. I know.
Give me something to break. Anyway. Hey, I'm just enjoying the ride. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah, it's fun.
Devils are undefeated at home. Don LaGreca is 8-0 as calling the games.
That's the announcer, yeah.
So it's really cool. Just enjoying it. If I were the Devils and I approached this road trip, forget about the winning streak. One game at a time. You got 4 games. You've already seen Colorado. That first game is going to be tough on that road trip. Then San Jose, they proved to be tough.
Mm-hmm. They won tonight.
Yeah, because, again, they can score. They can absolutely score.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get to the Kings and Anaheim, again, I'm sure Scott.
Anaheim's dangerous. Anaheim's a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team. There you got a ton of talent. I think they're a sneaky team out of the West.
Yeah. But also, on a side note, just the amount of big stages we've done in the last 2 weeks, it was nice to we get a lot of compliments, guys. A lot of people coming up. Show a lot of first timers as well. Scanning the QR code. We got a lot of people subscribing to our YouTube channel at Let's Go Devils, and it's been a really, really fun time at American Whiskey, and it's only going to get better because our million party. I'm starting to plan for that. It's going to be amazing on January 17th, and we'll talk about that off air.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really, really good time. But all right, well, we're going to get out of here. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Set your alarms and alerts for the morning woo tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. I know Beer Baron's been listening in his morning commute every day. He's turning off Michael K for the morning woo.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just busting on you. You don't have to listen to me. You already listened to me enough. Anyway,
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank all those tuning in. Again, dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. See you tomorrow morning. Till next time, let's go Devils.